Alright, so it turns out that in the last video where I talked about the entirety of Goldship family, it looks like I forgot a very important figure, and that has led to a lot of people wanting me to talk about this horse, which is of course the gambler Nakayama Festa. And I'm just gonna be honest, I fraud it out. I completely have forgotten that Nakayama Festa was also in Uma Musume Pretty Derby. So this is gonna be like my apology video to the Nakayama Festa. You know, sit tight, let's go, and let's talk about Nakayama Festa. So Nakayama Festa was born in April 5th of 2006 at the breeding farm at Arai Bokujo, and his father is of course Staygold and his mother is Deer Wink. So Nakayama Festa at birth had the temperament that is on par or even worse than Dream Journey, which is fucking crazy because Dream Journey was, you know, coming out with the intent to kill, by the way. And his trainers said that Nakayama Festa was impossible to train. Like, Phenomenal is really the outlier of the Staygold family. Like, he is the one who only has a good temperament. So Nakayama Festa made his debut on November 2nd of 2008 in Tokyo, and he won his first 2 debut race, which is pretty good. He got 2nd place on his first graded race, which is the G3 Keisei High in Nakayama. He then had a kind of unremarkable finish at both the May 31st 2009 Tokyo Yunshin and the April 19, 2009 Satsuki Show, where he got 8th at the Satsuki Show and 4th in the Tokyo Yunshin. But then he came back and won the G2 race, the RF Radio Nippon Show, getting 1st place, and then ate shit on the next race, which is the Kika Show, where he got 12th place, and then ate an even bigger shit at the Chunichi Shimbun High, getting 13th place. So at this point Nakayama Festa was not really looking too great, with him only winning 1 G3 race and 1 G2 race, and then just really bombing it. You know, if he was a football player, I'll be benching him every single goddamn match. But then he kind of bounced back and won the 2010 April 24 Metropolitan Stakes, getting 1st place, and this would lead to the 2010 June 27 Takarazuki, where the unthinkable happened, and that match will lead to him be personified in the Uma Musume game as the gambler. So in the Takarazuki, Nakayama Festa had a odds of winning of 38 to 1. So to put that into perspective, that is a 97.44% chance to lose and a 2.564% chance to win. So you could say the odds are really stacked against Nakayama Festa. And he was the 8th favorite horse. There was basically no one betting for him. And if you were betting for him at that day, you would be called a fool. But after the race, you would be called a fucking saint, because Nakayama Festa, he managed to beat the crowd favorite Buena Vista. He managed to get 1st place at the Takarazuki and also managed to beating his brother Dream Journey.
その内にはジャガーメールで直線を向いてきた。先頭はアーネストリー逃げる。内に潜り込みましたブエナビスタ。内からブエナビスタ、外からなんと中山フェスタが追ってくる。一番外だドリームジャーニーだ。前はブエナビスタ、アーネストリー、ブエナビスタ、アーネストリー、中山フェスタ、これは驚いた。中山フェスタ、ブエナビスタ、中山フェスタ勝った。ブエナビスタ2番手、3番手にはアーネストリー。
And that's how he earned the notoriety of being a gambler horse. Because if you bet on him, you don't know if you would either hit a jackpot or go home disappointed when he like fumbles a race. Like, the Takarazuki was the only ever G1 race that Nakayama Festa has won in his career. And this aspect, you know, it's kind of similar to Staygold, where Staygold has only won 1 G1 race in his entire career, and that's not even in Japan. It was a foreign race in Hong Kong. Nakayama Festa also participated in the 2010 Prix de la Triomphe. So the Prix de la Triomphe is one of the world's most prestigious races, and is a race where all horses from different countries come to compete for the title. It's basically like the Japan Cup of France. you could say. And somehow in that race, Nakayama Festa got second place.
To this stage with a white cap, now coming into it now is Kate Blanco, and also Nakayama Festa is running a big race, moving into it stylishly on the outside. It's the Japanese runner being tackled now by Workforce Ryan Moore. It's Nakayama Festa, the leader. Workforce, the Derby winner, coming at him hard. 150 yards left to go. Workforce on the inside, and Serafina from the clouds. Workforce gains the upper hand now. 100 yards left to go. They race to the line. Workforce, and Workforce has won it. Workforce has won it by a head to Nakayama Festa in third then.
What's even more impressive is that he only lost to first place by a head. Getting a second place in the Prix de la Triomphe is crazy because for Japanese horses, only 2 other horses have done the same thing, which is El Condo Pastor and also Nakayama Festa's sibling, Orfev. Orfev actually did it 2 times, which is even more impressive that he got second place 2 times. And he would have won his first Prix de la Triomphe attempt, but his opponent kind of just squeaked past him at the last moment. So this guy is basically a gambler horse. You never know if he's gonna fumble or if he's gonna shoot his shot and actually win a race. So that's why he got his in-game persona as also like a gambler. And in the Uma Musume game, she is described as a gambler with the nature of an outlaw. She's an apathetic, lazy Uma Musume, but under the training of her mentor, she discovers the thrill of racing, and she can only live on the edge and tends to cut corners in Tibet situations. So she's literally the type of all or nothing person, which is just like any gacha game player. So she is literally one of us. So there really isn't a lot of interaction of Nakayama Festa and his in real life siblings, so Gold Ship, Dream Journey, Orfev in real life. Maybe except for Dream Journey where they ran in the 2010 Takarazu Kinen together. But in the game, Nakayama Festa is actually a really good friend of all the Stay Ghost children. So a lot of times Gold Ship would do some Gold Ship shenanigans, and Nakayama Festa would just engage in. He would entertain Gold Ship in his antics, and they are often seen just skulking around and acting suspicious and looking for just mischief. And sometimes in those little rare moments, Nakayama Festa would be the voice of reason to keep Gold Ship in line. And that's basically the same with all other Umas from the Gold family, with Orfevi, with Dream Journey, or with Phenomenal. So in the later parts of the Uma Musume story, they would just be seen together, just hanging out together like really good friends. Another trivia is that, and this is a sad one, is that Nakayama Festa's hobby in the game is horticulture, and horticulture is basically the art or practice of garden cultivation and management, basically growing plants. And her favorite plants to grow are violets. And that's a notch or a callback to the in real life Nakayama Festa's owner, where the first owner of Nakayama Festa, Nobuko Izumi, was a very big fan of the Takarazuka Revue. The Takarazuka Revue is basically a Japanese all-female musical theater trope that is based in Takarazuka, Japan, where women would play all roles in lavish Broadway-style productions of musicals and stories adapted from films, novels, shoujo manga, and Japanese folktales. Unfortunately, while Nakayama Festa was still racing, Nobuko Izumi unfortunately passed away due to esophageal cancer. And in honor of her daughter's legacy and being the first owner of Festa, his father, which is now the owner of Nakayama Festa, named Nakayama Festa's team at the Prix de la Triomphe as Team Violet Flowers in honor of his daughter's love for the Takarazuka Revue. And it's actually very sweet and also very fitting that Nakayama Festa's only G1 win is the Takarazuka Kinen, with Shinichi Izumi, who is now Nakayama Festa's owner, saying that his daughter let him win the race. His final 3 races were unremarkable, where he finished 14th in the 2010 Japan Cup, 4th in the Prix Foy in France, and lastly, his last race on October 2nd of 2011, where he finished 11th place at the Prix de la Triomphe, so this time he didn't come close to winning. And then it was made the decision by his owner that he would be retiring from racing after the Prix de la Triomphe. Nakayama Festa would officially retire from racing in October of 2011, and then he would be stationed at the stallion breeding station in Hidaka, Hokkaido for the 2012 breeding season. And Nakayama Festa would officially retired from stud duty in 2023, and now he is stationed at the Urakawa Yunshun village in Urakawa, Hokkaido, where he is still living a quiet and peaceful retirement life. And actually, when Nakayama Festa retired, his temperament actually grew calmer as he aged, and it actually just seems like he is fully enjoying his retirement life. Although Nakayama Festa was the least successful of all the gold siblings, he still is like a very interesting horse to talk about, and I feel like the temperament issue is going to always be in the golden bloodline, maybe except for Phenomenal because he's just the outlier of the family. But that's all I have for Nakayama Festa. I really am sorry that I forgot about Nakayama Festa, and I hope you guys would appreciate this apology video for Nakayama Festa. So if you enjoyed, please like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next Uma Musume video.